Rachel Alleyne was a 30-year-old single mother of 3 who loved to spoil her children. She would save up money, and once a month she would take them to the movies. She would take them to the mall and say to them, "Buy whatever you want." She painted houses to support them, but she made sure that they always had the best of everything and never lacked for anything.
Rachel used to be with her children almost 24 hours a day. If you did not see her children with Rachel's children with her, they would be at school or at daycare, but she always had her children with her. A lot of people knew that too. A lot of people did not know her by name, but they knew her by seeing Rachel with her children.
Rachel's love for her family didn't stop at her children.
It was me, Rachel, and my younger sister. We were the bosom buddies. We were very close. Talk about every and anything. I couldn't want for a better relationship with a daughter. She was my friend. She really was. We used to have late night chats, 12, 1 o'clock. We would talk late into the morning. Sometimes she just showed up at my place. She was the kind of person, she'd go out, she'd see anything for me, or her sister, she will buy it. She would say, "Don't bother to pay me back." That's the kind of person she was.
Rachel made sure she spent all the holidays with her family, not just Thanksgivings, Christmases, and birthdays, but even Halloweens.
She loved the family life. She loved being with her family. She loved seeing the family together. When Rachel was with her family, there was a lot of laughter. It was just pure joy, especially to have Rachel around, because she never talked much, even though when she was with her family, but just having her there, seeing her smile, and everyone knew her by her smile. Her family and friends knew her. She had a perfect smile, very beautiful smile, and it's something that we'll always remember, something that I will always cherish, because I see it a lot in her son also. He smiles just like his mom.
Her mother calls Rachel a daughter of the Jane and Finch community. She had grown up in the Toronto neighborhood. She went to elementary and high school there. She used to play in the parks and go to the Driftwood Community Center. But for the past 4 years, Rachel had been concerned. After a teenager was killed in her apartment building, she stopped letting her son play outside. She told her mother that she was sick and tired and wanted to get out. "I've had enough," she said.
We were planning to come together and live together. She had the majority of her stuff all packed up, because this was the year that we were going to move out together. And I was very concerned, and she began to get very concerned too, because a lot was going on in her neighborhood. And she was very concerned. She wanted to get out. She really wanted to get out.
On the night of October 9th, 2007, Rachel spoke to her mother on the phone, as she did every day.
Rachel called me around 6-ish, or something like that. It was after she picked up her last child from daycare, and there was no hint in her voice anything was wrong, no sort of pain in her voice, nothing at all. And the last word she said to me, "I'll talk to you later, Mommy." She never got to talk to me.
After Rachel got off the phone with her mother, she went to meet with a friend, and they went for a walk in their neighborhood like they often did when their kids were doing their homework or asleep. It was an unseasonably warm evening for early fall, and they were walking through the housing complex at 20 Driftwood Avenue. They were on their way to a social gathering in the backyard of one of the townhouses. Rachel and her girlfriend entered the party through the gate. They greeted people they knew. A couple of guys were playing dominoes at a table. Other people were chatting in groups and having a drink. Everyone was socializing and relaxing on a Tuesday night, having a good time and enjoying the good weather, completely unaware that at that same moment, a group of young men were walking through the housing complex towards them.
Coming up.
I'm shocked at what could you do, what next level could you go to? You know, but it does. These guys, it frightens me that they'll walk away from this, think that they are untouchable.
The following segment contains violence and graphic content, which some viewers might find offensive. Viewer discretion is advised. On the night of October 9, 2007, Rachel Alleyne had just arrived with her girlfriend at a social gathering in a backyard of one of the townhouses at 20 Driftwood Avenue in the Jane and Finch community of Toronto. Rachel had lived in the neighborhood all her life. Most of the community knew her from seeing her with her 3 children. Someone called Rachel's name. She greeted people she knew. A couple of guys were playing dominoes at a table. Other people were chatting in groups and having a drink. Everyone was enjoying the unseasonably warm autumn evening. Rachel had barely been there a few seconds and only taken a few steps inside the backyard when 2 young men came from around the corner and opened fire on the backyard. She never even had a chance to turn around. They shot Rachel 4 times in the back. She was killed where she stood.
Rachel's not somebody who was in the wrong place at the wrong time, hanging around the wrong crowd. Rachel was literally collateral damage. These gentlemen who, and I use that term loosely, who opened fire on this backyard patio with upwards of 10 people on it, knew full well that in all likelihood they were going to kill someone else besides the person they were aiming for. And they didn't care. It makes it very clear that these people are so callous and so violent that the loss of a 30-year-old mother of 3 matters not to them.
When I got to Rachel's place, I was hoping that I checked all the rooms, hoping that she was somewhere there. And I was hoping that she walked through the door. But she didn't. I went straight to her son. And I held him, I squeezed him. That's all I could do. Then later in the morning, the thing that really devastated me was her 2 girls, they came downstairs smiling. Oh God, and that hurt me. When I look at those 2 little girls, they came downstairs and they were smiling. How do I and what do I say to them? Because I didn't want to say anything to them, but at the same time, they had to know that their mother wasn't coming back. They got up with the intention that they were going to see their mother. Their mother was going to get them ready for school that morning. She wasn't there. She wasn't there.
The shooter's intended target managed to escape harm that night. Rachel's girlfriend is still recovering to this day. There were also 2 other men on the patio who were shot and survived. Rachel was the only person who died.
Rachel's murder shows the disregard. And, you know, we say that. We show the cowardice, disregard, level of violence that you would risk a girl's life to settle, you know, some perceived slight or some score. You know, I think that should be the thing that sticks in people's minds. In their callousness, in their rampage, they've made a community feel unsafe to come home. And I don't think that's, I think that's a privilege that they certainly don't deserve.
The police released security images of the shooters taken as they ran through the townhouse complex by Toronto Housing surveillance cameras. The police believe the shooters probably live in the community.
If they're not living there, they know the complex fairly well. All the townhouses face the middle, and so there's lots of laneways and small roadways that join them. And you would have to know where you were going. You would have to know how to get into the complex and get out of the complex undetected. I believe that people in the neighborhood know these boys. I think they know who they are. I think they watch them do the shooting, and I believe that that they have the information that I need to put them into custody.